I've never felt as much pressure starting a new series as I felt with the Elder Kings. I mean, obviously, it's the classic. The first ever series I did on YouTube of CK2 was, of course, Elrang, the Iliad restoration in the Elder King. So this, for me, is this is a big milestone. This is a weird one. It's very nostalgic, and obviously a lot of things come a long way. The channel's come a lot of way since then. What was like 11,000 subs since then? We've got a whole new expansion. We've got my own personal mod that I've added to it. I know how to play the game a little bit better now, or at least I think I picked up one or two things in the past few months playing CK2. So, welcome to what I am calling Series A. For those of you who haven't seen the other series, I am structuring the channel from now on in a couple of different ways. We're going to have a Series A of CK2 and a Series B of CK2. Series A of CK2 will be the heavily edited, fast-paced fantasy content that you've come to expect from the channel. Series B, more traditional CK2 Let's Play, based on Planet Earth and one of the various mods around that, without, you know, fantasy elements ideally. So things like CK2 Plus, HIP, When the World Stopped Making Sense will be Series B. That's all unedited and to a much slower pace. So if you like the more thorough, slower CK2 Let's Play, that series might be for you. But for you guys who have expected, you know, ever since the Elrang saga, this type of content, welcome back, Series A. So, what did I say months and months ago that I would start working on for the next Elder King series? And then Holy Fury came out. That's right, it's a Dwemer mod. We are going to be playing the Dwemer Contingency, as I was calling it all those months ago. And I got some features to show off. Now, the only reason that this mod took so long to come out was that I was waiting for Holy Fury to update. And then after Holy Fury came out, obviously that took a lot longer than everybody expected. After Holy Fury came out, I've been waiting for the Elder Kings to update, and honestly, it's still not out for Holy Fury. This is Holy Fury, though, but we're on the developer's build of the Elder Kings, the SCVN? What the hell is it called? Anyway, it doesn't matter too much, the SVN file. Basically, the developer's build, right? So that's what we're playing on right now, and of course, I've managed to get the Dwemer mod updated to Holy Fury. It took a couple of days, did want to get it out yesterday, but I didn't want to rush it. You know, I wanted to give it its chance. So, let's dive straight in, shall we, team? So, if we're going to play on this bookmark here, Second Era, War for Rimmon, 3525. The reason I'm playing on this one is simply because this most well represents what I think people will know the Elder Scrolls world to look like, for what people know Tamriel to look like. Most of the de jure empires are in the right place. Argonia splintered, but is within the borders of Argonia. Same with Morrowind and the Tribunal Temple. Skyrim split between Halfingard, the Reach, and Skyrim, but, you know, that's relatively as you would expect. Cyrodiilic Empire, mostly in the right place as well. Same with Elsewhere, Valenwood, Alanor, you know, Pyandonia, for those of you who care about goddamn sea elves. So, where are we going to be playing? Well, honestly, I've added a few different starting sites for the Dwemer people. So we are going to be playing as one of the few surviving Dwemer characters. I don't really have a good backstory. I don't really have a good reason for why they've come back to Tamriel. So if you've got something, if you've got a good backstory, let me know. Come up with something in the comments and we'll make it canon. I'll talk about it next episode. We have various sites across where they were canonically found in the Elder Scrolls world. We've got a site in Morrowind, several different sites in Skyrim. I went for these ones because these are the ones we have the most lore on from Skyrim itself, obviously, the ones we know the most about. And then also one over here in the Reach as well. Sort of the generic Elder Scrolls Dwarven Diaspora there, or Dwemer Diaspora. So, we have the choice of, and I think the ones people will know the most are obviously the ones in Skyrim. So we've got Arkwind, down in the south of Ivarstead there. I forget what that's called in-game, but I will subtitle it all in now, I guess. Over here, we have Bleakwall, Baron Klazthzgarlthuzn of Bleakwall. These are all pseudo-randomly generated characters. We have Baron Yagrum of Alftand there. Obviously, the classic Dwemer province of Alftand, and then Markarth as well. So, interestingly enough, there's actually very few Dwemer features in the base game, because obviously they're an extinct culture, an extinct religion, so they wouldn't really add much to it. So I've completely redone culture, religion, I've added some decisions, some events, some buildings, all sorts of stuff, some new little icons as well, and a new society that we will talk about, but that won't be there from the start of the game, because obviously the Dwemer are very few and far between. Who do you want to play as? Well, Bleakwall is sort of my go-to, maybe even Alftand as well. I feel like this is the most known Dwemer site, isn't it? Up on the mountain, tapped by, like, the mechanical dragon and stuff. This is very much the place. I think this is the one with the massive elevator, isn't it? Alftand. Or Alftand, sorry. So I might go with this one. obviously we are going to make ourselves a custom little Dwemer. So as you can see here, what I've done is I actually made a video a long time ago, sort of showing off this mod before Holy Fury came out, and all the changes I made are actually based on some concept art that somebody put up on the internet, which I thought was pretty cool. There's no actual canon appearance for the Dwemer. In Morrowind, I believe they just appear as like dark elves, and in Skyrim, obviously they just appear as armored ghosts, so just dude in Dwemer's armor. So there's no real, you know, look at their faces. But what I've gone for, obviously, heavy beards, custom heavy beards, which is obviously what we're going to be going for here. Let's go for like a dark hairstyle. And the backgrounds as well, I've all customized too, so they look like they're in. You can kind of make it out there. There's not much you can do with CK2 backgrounds, let's be honest. But that is some dwarven machinery you can kind of see in the background, and that will... there's many different types. I haven't just gone for the one. So, what are we going to make our boy look like? I want to make him look very Dwemery. See, I think that's pretty good. That's quite a glorious beard he's got going on there, and there are many different types of beard that I've sort of thrown together of varying different face packs that you find in the base game. I quite like this one with all the ornamentation in it. We'll go with that one. That's a pretty good beard. I like that. Ethnicity Dwemer, naturally. And the base game ones, I believe, they just look like regular old Altmer, from what I recall. I think they're just plain old Altmer characters, so I've tried to make them look a little bit distinct there. Oh my god, I have full freedom with the flag, you fools. I'm going to make something that looks a little bit Dwemery, though. Unfortunately, you're kind of limited in what you can go for. Oh, I mean, we've got to go for, like, what do you think, like an orange and brown color scheme. That seems very Dwemer to me. Like, that alone, that screams Dwemer. Can we get, like, a big cog or, like a weapon or something? Fleur-de-lis don't really work. Let me go through some stuff here and see what I can find. I think that looks very Dwemery. Let's at least start somewhat sensible, huh? That looks pretty good. So, all the different names are in the base game, and these were all added by the Elder Kings dev, so I can't claim credit for these, luckily. That's a great name. Can I just point that out? Rkungtunch of Alftand. That's incredible. We need a suitably ridiculous dynasty name as well. I'm sort of getting how the dwarven names work. So, we'll go for, like, a Thubzuman. There we are. That is a fantastic name. Rkungtunch Klazthzgarlthuzn. That's the most Dwemer thing I've ever heard in my whole goddamn life. Now, what type of characters do we want to play as to start off with? Honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, what sums up a dwarven character? I guess maybe like a magistrate, a mage. Dwarves were, in the Elder Scrolls, like very, very powerful mages, you know, technomancers, and had their own sort of unique brand of magic. So I guess mage would make the most sense. Stewardship, Martial seems to suit it. Learning plus 10 as well seems very, very suitable for a dwarf. They are a heavy tech and learning-focused race. I've added a lot of features based around that because, you know, that's sort of what they were, you know, the steampunky inventors of the Elder Scrolls world. Let's see what we've got in terms of traits. So they've got Familial and Dynastic Kinslayer there from Holy Fury. I feel like our dude would be shrewd, but I feel like I would like to take that one step further and go for, like, Genius. Gives us 15 points. Now, dwarves are... obviously so they do have a longer life. They're not extremely long-lived. They're far from being immortal, but they will live up to, like, I believe around 200. You can start at 65 in this, whereas obviously in the base game, I believe, what's it, the maximum age, like 50 for men. So we could go Genius. That's not too much of a hit, to be honest. That still only takes up 25 there. Perceptive, that seems pretty good. Oh, we can go with a Lucky. What does that give us? Fertility, General Opinion, Personal Combat, Attraction Opinion. I mean, to survive complete extinction, you would have to be fairly lucky, I guess. I might come back to that one. Giant doesn't seem appropriate. Architect, Blacksmith, Engineer, these all seem very dwarven. In fact, the society I've built, these will play into it. But again, we won't see that for many, many episodes. I won't talk about it too much because that's a big part of the gameplay. I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, I kind of like some of those. What do they give? Engineer gives Martial +2, Stewardship +2. Blacksmith gives Martial +1, Stewardship +2. So they're sort of variants of Stewardship and Martial. I kind of like to get them through gameplay as well, though. I don't want to take too many of the hobbies. Now, dwarfs are lustful, I would assume. Or maybe they just want to keep the race going. That would make sense. Diligent, that seems fine. Patient as well, why the hell not? Root.get Craven, that's not my fault. Brave. Brave doesn't seem appropriate for a guy that lives underground, though, huh? Cynical. Cynical suits the dwarfs a lot, because they don't really have a religion. In lore, they were supposedly building Numidium to be their god. You know, to represent their god, which there are some gameplay features around that I'll show you in a minute. You know, there's not a huge amount of traits to pick, huh? Erudite, I think, is appropriate as well for our dwarf boy here. I kind of just want to round out his stats. He's a little bit hit and miss right now. Just, why not? Gregarious, why not? Man, we can go pretty crazy with this, eh? I'm not going to go super, super insane with it, but I want our first guy to be, you know, recognizable. I want him to leave a legacy behind. So we're going to go... What else is he missing here? Has he got a huge amount of diplomacy? I mean, he's learning so good that I feel like we can just leave it at this. And obviously his traits are insane. There he is. Baron Rkungtunch Klazthzgarlthuzn of Alftand, the first Dwemer. And of course, I show off the culture and religion features when we dive into the game here. Oh god, the rules. I completely forgot about the rules. Do you want me to set the rules? I think I should probably set the rules. So what's interesting is there's a rule added by base game Elder Kings here, standard handicapping, and this provides the AI with a random stimulus of gold and tech points every year to keep the world alive and going. I kind of like that, you know, it would kind of encourage them to build more buildings, and obviously tech points are going to be very valuable, so us being able to steal them from our neighbours would be good. I imagine we're always going to be the technological leaders because of our cultural bonuses, which I will show you in a second. So I haven't really changed many of the rules. I've generally kept most of them to default, besides Shattered Retreat, which I hate personally. The rest of it, pretty much hunky-dory. You are playing as a Dwemer Baron. Classic. A Dwemer Baron there, good. We can hold castles, forts, shrines, cities, and academies without penalty. You can hold tribal holdings without penalties. We can build all of the above, obviously. Move a capital every 600 months. Tribal governments are not included in vassal limits, so it's very similar. Now, let's, there's some description there as well if you're interested in some crap I've written. So, let's go over the cultural features. I hope you like my backgrounds. That's a bit Dwemery, huh? That's him stood in front of some ruins. Can't really tell. But, you know, when you look across many Dwemer, you might see some, you know, like machinery in the background and crap. You know, them being underground. You might see them in front of, yeah, there's some more various Dwemer stuff there. Just to make it look alive, you know? I kind of wanted to make it look as Dwemer as possible. Man, our dude is powerful, huh? Dwemer are adult, so we count as then adult Dwemer. We're far from old, even though we're 61, so we've still got a life ahead of us here. Fertility minus 10%, just because long-lived races tend to be less fertile in the Elder Scrolls universe. So, 8 dwarfs in Alftand. Dwemer. I should call them their proper name. We're not racists here. 8 dwarfs in Alftand. We've got 8 dwarfs in Bleakwall. There's all of about, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces. 6 Dwemer provinces. 6, 8. There's not many of us. Let's put it that way. I'm not doing the numbers, but there's not many Dwemer left. We're going to have to be very careful not to immediately get swallowed up by Skyrim. Now, what are our goals as the Dwemer? Well, I mean, whatever we want it to be, right? We played as Alien, and there's absolutely no features for those, and we did quite well. So, I think, obviously, we should try and restore the Dwemer holdings, you know? All of, like, northwest Morrowind across through Skyrim and into the Reach as well. Maybe converting all of this, kicking men out of Skyrim and claiming it for the dwarves. Men have enough land. I think we can all agree with that. They've got the entire continent besides, like, Valenwood, elsewhere, and, you know, crappy Morrowind and Argonia. They've got all the best provinces, you know, the most fertile land, the richest provinces. I think it's about time we fix that. And, you know, saved our people in the process. Right, Baron Rkungtunch, whose name I'm never going to remember. What have we got going for us then? So, Dwemer, no special features. As with all of the mer characters and men characters, they very rarely have any special features. There's not much you can do with culture in CKT, to be honest with you. Oh, he's got a nice, look at that portrait. Wow, look at this dude. Calavian, no special features. You'll find that with basically everybody. That determines whether or not you can raid, things like that. So I think orcs are probably the only people who would have a... No, even they don't. Almost everything will be defined by the religion. So I've added some special religious stuff here. As dwarfs, we get 30% technological spread rate to show that we are sort of quite a close-knit community. So I've read a lot of things on the wiki about how dwarfs are very introspective. They only care about their own culture and their own people. I don't want to say that they're like a hive mind, but they're not far off it. They can telepathically communicate. They only care for themselves. So the technology spread rate increase sort of reflects that. And, of course, we get bonuses to military, economy, and cultural tech points. Not a huge amount, but a significant amount nonetheless, which will obviously be affected by other bonuses too. And then we've got some other crap there. Refute the worship of the gods, scorning the Daedra, and other religious figures, and believe that through invention and innovation they could rival the gods themselves. So they believe that building Numidium, they would rival the gods, essentially. High god, Mundus, which is Earth, essentially. Evil god name, false god, scripture is divine metaphysics, because that's what the dwarf followed, you know, some divine metaphysics. Now, one thing you may have noticed, rulers can marry close kin to improve vassal opinion. 2 reasons for that. Number 1, as I said, dwarfs are very close-knit, almost like a hive mind. They communicate via telepathy. They are incredibly, you know, as far as societies go, basically indivisible. Not only that, there's also very few dwarfs left. What have we got, like 50 dwarfs left? Something like 40, 50 dwarfs. So it's not ideal, is it? We do need to conserve our numbers somewhat, hence why I thought a bit of divine marriage here or there kind of makes sense as well, for 2 reasons. Besides that, we're basically left to our own devices. Now, we do have a society, but obviously the society won't exist, as it's only for Dwemer, and there's not enough Dwemer to fill it right now. There's 5, 6 Dwemer rulers, which is nowhere near enough to fill out a society. Now, interestingly enough, there are a lot of new societies I haven't seen, like the Elder Council. I assume you have to be... council positions must not require nomination. That's cool. None of these must be true. You can't be a clone to serve on the Outer Council. Seems a bit racist to me. That's cool. This would be kind of fun to play as just the Empire now. Seems like they've added some bureaucracy to that. Now, we do have the option to join pre-existing guilds as well. So the Mages Guild, Mercantile Guild. I was kind of tempted to cut the dwarfs off so they can only be part of their own society. But then I figured, you know, for us in this early game where there are no societies for dwarfs, and, you know, it would also make the game a little bit lackluster. You know, we wouldn't have access to any of this new cool stuff. And I kind of just want to explore the Elder Kings, you know. Kind of want to see all the new content they've added for Holy Fury as well. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun just messing around in some of these other societies. Rkungtunch, Thieves Guilds, we've got the Assassin's Guild there, Dark Brotherhood as well. Sorry, Dark Brotherhood and Rkungtunch, the Assassin's Guild. Thieves Guild is obviously for thieves. Mercantile Guild, Stellaris Guild, Mages Guild we can join, and we're not fighters, so we can't join either of those. And I'm going to assume they wouldn't want a random dwarf on the Outer Council, so that seems fairly alright. High Chancellor, Baroness Valentia of Dunmarch. I'm Baroness Valentia. Oh god, I miss Oblivion. Our holy sites are the last surviving Dwemer holy sites, and they don't really do much for the game because, again, the Dwemer were a very cynical, non-religious people. They were anti-theists in probably the most literal sense. So, you know, just got some generic sites there. Don't really do much with that one. Now, we do have some events. We have some decisions we can undertake. Not going to spoil it. Simple as that. I'm not going to spoil it. We'll just go through it as we find it. I'll give you a little sneak peek of some things that we may need to accomplish. That's all you're getting. Now, not only that, of course, we've got some unique graphics here, which were added by the base game, but also some extra buildings that I've thrown together. Again, not going to spoil it. I'm not ruining it. We'll get to it in the series. And again, I haven't added a huge amount beyond that, so very few things actually survived the transition to Holy Fury, so it's just up to us to sort of have fun in the Elder Kings. We've done it once before. I have a feeling we could probably do it again. Oh, Baron Rkungtunch, why did I give you such a ridiculous name? Let's find you a wife. Oh my god, it's going to be slim pickings, isn't it? Unless we want to present debutante. Now, what's the plan here? Obviously, uniting all of the Dwemer provinces in Skyrim wouldn't be a bad plan. One thing that I was going to implement that I wasn't really sure if I liked the idea, because I thought it might be a little bit OP, would be to use the underground Dwarven city to actually instantly teleport troops between these sort of Dwarven provinces. It ended up being very, very OP, particularly when you've actually expanded your borders beyond them, because if you had any foreign threats, being able to move your troops immediately between these different areas was quite strong. So I ended up not using that overall, but one reason to actually grab all of these is they each have a unique building and also unique production when it comes to Numidian. I'm not going to spoil it, but we will need to own all of these sites if we want to get to the Dwemer late game, to just give you a little hint there. Right, let's just play some CK2 then, shall we? That's enough of a preamble. What do we want to be? Now, ideally, we need to set up our defenses against Skyrim, because these boys are not going to be happy that some dwarfs have cropped up and stolen Bleakwind, Arkwind, and Alftand there. What are we looking at in terms of troop count? 7,900. Oh, God, no. 794. Not 7,900. That'll be much more playable. Let's unpause for a little bit. See if... Oh, I now have the Serpent Birth Sign. There we go. That gives us +1 martial, +1 intrigue. Not ideal. See if our troop count adjusts at all. Nope. Our martial bonuses have already been applied, so that's a little bit annoying. What is the High King of Skyrim looking like right now? Urim the Skald King. Urim Flamehair there, with 21 martial and 5,600 troops. I feel like immediately maybe getting some allies with fellow dwarfs wouldn't be a terrible idea. So you got leads from the area. What did the other guys spawn as? Because we are going to have to keep a close eye on these other, you know, sort of Dwemer provinces. Are we heir to anything? We're not. That's very unfortunate. It's a real shame that we're not going to, like, inherit one of these other provinces if we kill them off. Yeah, let's get married. Let's start working on that. Do we want to marry this woman? Jaratrez. She's got some good stewardship, but besides that, she's pretty crappy. We could roll the dice on presenting debutante, I guess. Let's open employment list and actually go for it. Present debutante. It's 1 gold. It's 1 gold, because I assume that, thank God, the month's balance hasn't ticked over yet. She better? Yeah, honestly, she is. Yeah, 18 stewardship there, not too bad. Master Magistrate, sure, why not? Welcome aboard. Order her to join the Mercantile Guild. She'll be granted the rank of apprentice and can immediately take guild jobs and study specializations. That's cool. That's cool that we can ask her to do that. Hey, actually get on board with that. We might also do that as well. Arranged marriage between her and Rkungtunch. Incredible. That name's not going to get old quickly. 10 gold or 13 prestige. Game, you're spoiling me. What a fucking choice, huh? I guess we'll take the 10 gold, eh? Why not? Right, what else have we got available to us? I think immediately grooming an heir. While its ambition is active, fertility increased by 20%. I feel like that's necessary. We need to keep the Dwemer people alive. We're not looking good. Our numbers, what we've got, like 56 people left, 54 people left, something like that. Yeah, it would be 56, wouldn't it? Business, rulership. I almost feel like war is necessary. Like, we need the troops at this point of the game, right? Scholarship would give us some learning. That would give us tech points. Tech points would allow us to get to the end game. Now, there are also retinues as well. I didn't point that out, but we've also got access to Spheres Centurions and Technomancers Centurions. You get very few. They are very, very powerful. Technomancers, the standard sort of battle mage retinue there, and then we've also got Spheres as well. Not only that, but there are unique Dwemer buildings, so we've got access to things such as, you know, animonculary, sphere storage, spider storage, ballista storage, traps, numidium, magical production, which is unique to this province. Each province has a unique aspect of the production of numidium, right? And you can obviously only build it if we have that site as well. So, what does this one have? Let me see if I can find it. This one might not have any in hindsight. I can't see it, but yeah, each one has its own various numidium production site, which we would require if we wanted to build the whole thing. So, worth pointing out. I don't know what to go for. I honestly don't. What is good in this early game? Maybe business to start building ourselves up as quickly as possible, because I feel like we're going to get thwomped pretty quickly. Oh, nice. We start with the Spear Quarter and the Mage Quarters there. Many Dwemer are skilled in magic, and while not all possess the talents of the Tonal Architects, that's the society for the most elite of Dwemer. Many are still more powerful enough to use spells in combat. These quarters has a team of mages. Sweet. So battle mages are obviously a very, very powerful unit in the Elder Scrolls. And then, of course, we've got access to various technology as well, reflecting that. So we go for like magical training, which will massively buff up our battle mages. Basically, all I went into last time when we played as Zelrang, if you remember, we got a lot of Ayleid archmages, and those were just insanely overpowered. Man, I feel like this start is going to be so difficult. But, you know, that's kind of the point of the Dwemer resurrection, right? That's part of the challenge. So we've got to forge our own realm here. Right, Dragak, Bulthanak, welcome. Yagrum Bagan, of course, being the dude from Morrowind. That's not Yagrum Bagan. That would be absurd. Unless it is. Maybe he... Well, I mean, I assume it's not given his name, but maybe he ends up living hundreds of years with Corpus, and then you see him in Morrowind. Okay. Consult other decisions. What do we have available to us right now? Visit the marketplace. Visit an alchemist. I wonder what that does for us. That could be cool. Purchase a pet, purchase a mount, visit a library. As I recall when we did this before, that just gave us a lot of, or had a random chance. We could basically exchange gold for, it was like gold for knowledge, essentially, so stat buffs, which is kind of cool. Compose a book. I feel like we should do that as soon as possible, but we've only got 52 gold. Man, this is going to be tricky, huh? Open spellbook. So what spells do we have access to as a master mage? Do we have any, how do you track magicka these days? I think we only get it once every, or it refills, or you gain a certain amount at the end of every year, don't you? So let's tick over to Loser's Rate just immediately. Thanks, good for us. There we are, Magicka, 0 of 50. This person wants 6.4 gold to build a statue, a grand monument, of course. So be it, surprise me, it's my wife. I'll trust you. Greedy, diligent, paranoid, ruthless. Ugh, maybe not. I mean, it's 6.4 gold. Why the hell not, huh? Okay, so we've got 4 out of 50 Magicka, and this is how we're going to hopefully keep ourselves going for a while. I almost feel like just summoning a shit ton of Dremora just over and over and over. Invention, by the way, is piety. I thought it was more appropriate than piety, seeing as dwarves aren't a pious people, or Dwemer. I feel like we just need to build up a massive, massive army of Dremora to help keep away these Nords, because otherwise these boys are quickly going to get out of hand and probably just roll over us. Okay, this is a nice little feature they've added, so we can actually check the status of varying things. You might remember during the L-Rank series, we spent ages and ages, if any of you actually remember that, ages and ages trying to find the goddamn Amulet of Kings, but now we can actually check it. The whereabouts of the Amulet of Kings are unknown. That's cool. Stats of the Dragonfires, they are not burning, which means we are susceptible to obviously Daedric and Dremora invasions. Check the status of the Dragonborn. There is no known Dragonborn right now. Maybe one will be uncovered. The Elder Council currently has 541 gold in its treasure. Its annual income is 41 gold. The Ruby Throne currently has 150 Imperial influence. The Empire exists, and they've got the following policies. Oh man, this is cool. I almost feel like I want an Elder Council of my own. Can we just go and conquer it? Maybe not. The Empire exists, so it does. We'll acknowledge that. Ongoing Daedric invasion, there are none, thank God. I feel like that's probably the best thing. And we can also check the legality of necromancy too. It's currently banned by the Mages Guild. Fine, understandable. What else have we got the option to do then? We've obviously checked the spellbook. Toggle trait visibility shows you certain other traits. I believe that's things like racial traits. You can remove that, but we're playing with a fairly large interface here with post-Holy Fury, so I don't think we need that too much. I think in hindsight, we should go for the scholarship focus. Maybe build up some rapport with one of the Daedra. Although the dwarves don't believe in the Daedra, and although they don't worship Daedra, there's no reason we can't, say, cuddle up to Hermaeus Mora for his knowledge and his power to help keep our people alive. Maybe go for, like, I'm thinking someone like Molag Bal, maybe someone like Mehrunes Dagon. help get some troops, maybe get some marshal, keep our people safe. Maybe we have to take some risks during this early game to not get completely swamped by Skyrim immediately. There seems to be a war, though. 7,000 men. Ugh, that's really bad. Like, that's actually genuinely horrible. Now, there are also... One thing I would love to do with the series is collect all 3 of the tools of Kagrenak, the most powerful dwarven artifacts to ever have been made, Dwemer artifacts to ever have been made. Those are interchangeable. You're just going to have to get used to it. I'm going to call them one or the other during the series. So, there is Sunder, Wrathguard, and Keening. Wrathguard prevents being damaged by the tools. Sunder is... Sunder, from what I recall, is the big hammer, and Wrathguard are the gloves. Sunder is the hammer, and Keening is the dagger, I believe. And those allowed you to, or they were created to manipulate the heart of Lorcan, which is a very, very powerful heart of a god, basically, that fell to Earth. If we could find those and collect all of those, we would be basically unstoppable anyway. Also, it might help with certain endgame events, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So let's see if any actually exist in the world. I believe they can randomly spawn at the start of the game. There's no Sunder, there is no Keening, and there is, I'm going to assume, there's no Wrathguard either. So those we're just going to have to come across as we play. As a Dwemer, maybe there's a little bit of bonus to us uncovering those. That would be pretty good. Maybe some sort of society could form dedicated to uncovering them. I don't know. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Yeah? You guys picking up what I'm putting down there? Anyway, good. We've got a court position. Probably not a bad plan in hindsight. Let's see what we can find. We found ourselves this lovely Dwemer lady. She's an expert healer. That's kind of cool that they've implemented that into the court healers. She's a mystic, though. Ugh. Your Rangers report a suspected witch living on the outskirts of the realm. They've never been able to prove that the woman has malicious goals, although the villagers do not trust her. She's willing to put her medical mixology skills to good court and becoming a physician in exchange for naught but a Deidre's heart. A most strange offer. Why would we gain the trait infection for giving her a Deidre heart? I have no idea. Obviously, in the base game, she accepts a vial of blood, but instead we're apparently 90% chance no effect, 10% chance getting the trait infection. Infection is horrible. We'll risk it. She's a mystic, so obviously a mystic has some issues associated with it. Fuck it, let's start writing the book. Honestly, you know what? The sooner the better, I think. Martial, diplomacy, intrigue, learning, or chronicle my family history. It seems a bit pointless for that. In honor of Mundus, that seems appropriate that the Dwemer would write a learning book. The monument promised by Baroness Bluthanch is finished. Upon unveiling, a statue of yourself is revealed. You notice the crowd smiling, giving a round of applause. I have no words. 200 prestige. Excellent. That's actually massively helpful. That's actually insanely useful, because there are obviously certain things you can't do in negative prestige. That's helped out a lot. The second we can, I'm going to flip over to Scholar, and we're just immediately going to start cavorting with Daedric gods. I think that's... Oh my god, we've already got the statue, and now we've got the trade expedition. This is incredible. The steward comes to see you one afternoon. She explains that she has devised a plan to bring in exotic goods. Maybe we could bring some new... what would Dwemer need? Some new fruits and linens and metals and some new steampunk goggles. I don't know. Buy a merchant ship for the journey, 25 gold. Hire a crew of bandits. We really don't have any gold at all. We are a poor people. We've only just arrived back on this planet. Hire a crew of bandits. I mean, that one genuinely, like 9 times out of 10 is a success. So we're going to go for that one. I don't know that that's precisely it. Do we want to bring the priest along for 5 gold? Absolutely not. There's too much risk, and for 5 gold, it's really, really not worth it. See how our trade expedition goes. I'd like to point out, look at this, how fast and how well this is running. They've really, really optimized it. We've arrived at the realm of Arana Teltasama. Oh god, it's a furry. Hello, how are you doing? Where is this? We've gone down to Riverhold. That's not too much of a journey, I guess. We've bought you a dozen tough warriors, my friend, clad in the finest Dwemer armor. It was incredibly expensive. At dinner, you noticed Arana Teltasama of Riverhold's face growing red with annoyance. I love that all of these events that we get given to us are from our wife, because there are just so few Dwemer characters kicking around. My wife is only acting in accordance with her own religion, which is nothing. She's an anti-theist, but that's fine. She's just very hungry. Please forgive her. After long hours of negotiating and discussion, this is the best outcome. Holy shit, we'll be desperate for gold. This will be a profitable agreement. 100 gold, 150 prestige. Again, also very, very nice. City tax, temple tax, castle tax, +2 stewardship. Nice. Great start. Do we want to give her 3 gold, or do we want to gain the trait greedy? Honestly, I kind of do want to gain the trait greedy, because I feel like it would... Is it still the plus... It is the plus 10% national tax. Vassal opinion -5. Not relevant, I'd say. Same trait opinion -5. Oh, do we want to reward our wife? She probably likes this anyway, right? I'll take the trait greedy. Doesn't matter if we don't get it. Doesn't matter if we do. And we got to debase the mint event. That's incredible. I thought... Correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I thought last time we debased the mint, it might have just been the mod we were playing. What did we play last time? It's already gone out of my mind. Game of Thrones. Was it not that it was based on the monthly income in that? Maybe in the base game it's still just the flat 100 gold. Well, that's incredible. That's really, really useful then. I need to remember that for the other series. For Series B, check it out today. Yeah, no, that's pretty great. So, let's start investing. Can we build some Dwemery stuff? Build a shrine? Doesn't really make much sense. I would like to build some Dwemer stuff, please. We need heavy infantry. Oh, shit. We need the animonculary before we can build anything. Right, okay, that seems fair. We need castle infrastructure level 1. An animonculary is an automated manufactory that helps produce the mechanized forces to supplement Dwemer armies in battle. This facility is capable of churning out huge numbers of automaton to rapidly replenish the ranks of Dwemer armies. That sounds like a very, very good investment. We're going to need a little bit more gold first, but that seems like a huge investment when we can get it. Your Magister Radak has discovered charging money from various religious favors. So Magister is priest. Gotta remember that. Intolerable, disappointing but understandable. We'll say absolutely not. We'll chuck him in prison. We'll take that gold for ourselves. Thank you very much. Oh my god, 81% and he left. Should have used my marshal in that situation. That's me just acting on statistics there. Right, better Magister. She's very good. She does have 18 learning, so absolutely welcome aboard. I think we've got quite a nice setup here, you know. Seems fairly peaceful. Seems like the Skyrim's not too interested in us. We didn't collect taxes. That's probably not going to help out too much, let's be honest. I feel like Administer Ram is just much, much better at this stage of the game, to be honest with you. Study tech, not a bad plan. We are obviously quite the leader in tech. Maybe heading to the Imperial City to go steal their magical secrets might not be too terrible. What have they got there? 7-4. Oh, they've got military secrets more than anything else. Who's the Emperor right now? Atreba Sicildor. I have no idea who you are. Emperor, look at that. Oh, man, that's cool. Imperial influence is changed by having a small gain each year. Sorry? Oh, you just gain a small amount each year. I see what they're saying. Having Imperial Councillors and Succession. Right, okay, so Succession is a negative modifier, I would assume. That's nice. They've added a lot of bureaucracy. They've really completely changed the government type, huh? Seems like playing the Cyrodiilic Empire is actually worth it. It's a shame we didn't have that when we actually wanted to form the Empire as Zelrang, huh? Feel like I got my series in the wrong order. Anyway, that's very cool that they've gone to that extent. Thank you all for watching. This has been very much just an introductory episode more than anything else. I think we can all agree on that. Next episode, let's dabble in some Daedra. Let's come out swinging. Let's go out hard. We'll basically snuggle up to, I think, Hermaeus Mora. You know, God of Learning, God of Knowledge. He seems the most appropriate. Can also give us many, many gifts. And, of course, that's going to unlock a lot of the game for us as well. You know, the off-map power is something they've done really, really well in this mod. So I'm kind of excited to see what they've actually added since Holy Fury. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. And let's give a shout out to all of the patrons without which this series would not be possible. Zachary Harris, Harik, Sean Thornton, Haydog Sidini, Tim Bragg, Loris, Michael Mullen, Crosis, Vacuous Bacchus, Josh Lindeen, Tesla, Tyler Birch, Jacob Alexander Fenton, Pelvis Presley, Asuna Kirito, Logan Thorne, Conspired C, Jimbo, Orcswolf, Facundo Vasquez, Tom Terror 18, Average Gamer 419, Escape, and Jackson Woodman. Thank you all for your support and the levels on Patreon. Thank you for keeping the series going. Hope you guys like the return to Tamriel. And I hope you like your names are static on the screen now. I know some people weren't into the whole scrolling names thing because they were sort of like there for half a second. So let me know what you think about that. And let's not forget Nathaniel Lindbergh, Brandon Toniak, Euphrates, Jack Allen, Betimus Max, Panther Pearl, Gabriel Van Ders, Llewellyn Thomas, Nathan Flores, Joran De Vries, Haji Dumar, Alpha Scuff, Kevin Saunders, Duncan 2 and 7, Zet McDougall, Joseph Beard, Jordan Campbell, Harry McGowan, Chris, Hancock, Sir Thor the Swede, Acero, Nick, Will Wade, Noah Gallimore, Fraser Brennan, The Insane Pickle, and in person, and Icy the Great. Thank you all for your support on Patreon as well.